Hey guys, welcome to video lesson 3.3. This lesson for today is called Proportions. Okay, and we are going to learn what proportions are today and how to find a missing part to a proportion. So our essential question for today is to answer the question, how can proportions help us decide when things are fair? Okay, so that's the question we're going to answer today. How can we tell, or how can we decide when things are fair? So for example, we have our first vocab word, or let's do an example. Let's say you pay $5 for 2 boxes of popcorn. The next day, you go to the theater and you pay $7.50 for 3 boxes of popcorn. So the question that we're going to pose here today is, are these two scenarios fair? So before we go any further, please make sure you have a calculator, and we're going to set up what we call a proportion. So what that means is we're going to take the two scenarios, scenario number 1, and write it as a ratio. Remember, a ratio is a fraction. So we're going to take $5 over 2 boxes. Okay, and we're going to set that equal to the second scenario. We're going to see if $7.50 over 3, and we're going to check to see if these are equal. The easiest way to do this, and maybe you've done this before, is what we do is take the cross product. Start with a denominator. Ooh, I don't want that color. Start with the denominator and multiply it to the numerator. So 3 times 5 is $15. And then you're going to take the opposite cross product. You're going to take 2 and multiply that to $7.50. So 2 times 750, if you do that in your calculator, you should get an answer of $15. So are the two products equals 15 equal to 15? So the answer is yes, this is fair, because each time you're paying the same amount. Another way you can look at this is by taking both of these examples and finding their unit rate. $5 for 2 boxes. If you take your calculator and do 5 divided by 2, you get $2.50 per box. And then if you look at the second scenario, take $7.50 divided by 3. So in your calculator, 750 divided 3 gives us 250. So in this way that we solved, you can say that it costs $2.50 per box. All right, just another 1 or 2 examples here. I want to determine if the two ratios are equivalent. So here's our new scenario. On the first day, it takes me 3 hours to drive 135 miles. Okay, the next day, it takes me 5 hours to drive 200 miles. So what we want to do to compare these is set up a proportion. Okay, and I know, like I showed you in the previous example, there's other ways we can solve, but proportions is what I'm trying to make sure that we understand. We're trying to show a relationship. So we're going to take this first scenario and write it as a ratio, 3 over 135. The 3 represents hours, and the 35 represents miles. And I'm going to put a little question mark here, because I want to try to say, Are my two ratios equal? Because I'm not sure yet. I don't know if they are equal. So the easiest way to do this, there's two ways again. We can take the cross product. We can take 200 and multiply it to 3. So grab your calculators and do 200 times 3. I get a solution of 600. And then you're going to take the cross product from the other direction. We're going to take 135 times 5. Again, in your calculator. And I get a solution of 675. So is 600 equal to 675? So the answer is no. The two ratios are not equal. And let's do one final example. Finally, on the first day, I download 5 songs, and I paid $2.25. The next day, I downloaded 4 songs, and I paid $2. So our question is, are the two ratios equivalent? So I need to set up ratios. 5 over 225, and that's equal to 4 over $2. And once again, we're going to use the cross product. So calculators, 4 times 225, I get a solution of 9. And then we're going to take the cross product in the opposite direction. And 5 times $2 gives me 10. So are these two ratios equivalent? The answer is no. These two ratios are, there's an equal sign, a line going through it means not equal. So we can just put a line right through the equal sign here. All right, video lesson 3.3 is over. Hopefully you enjoyed this short and sweet video. I'll see you in class tomorrow.